Clarke, Sierra, Andreina, like those are my girls. I love them bad.
Well, then news broke that maybe Ace and Andrina actually hooked up. That was the rumor. That maybe Clarke was involved too.
Oh, Clark set the call up.
Yes.
Yes, I am trying to record 2 Love Island USA videos in one day. This one about season 7 though, because that cast is the cast that keeps on giving, which is, good for content, but I kind of mean that in a derogatory way, because how are we still over a year later still in drama? And one camp that is always having blunders is anything Chelley, Ace, Taylor, Clarke related. And here we are again. Chelley especially has always moved in a way after this show that I have always found to be not smart. She first got out of the show. Ace did that interview. She decided to say nothing about it when he made her look bad, made himself look bad, had another fandom going after them. Chelley decided to, in silence, stay by her man, only for it to be bad PR for both of them, only for them to break up months later. And now it seems like Ace is playing in her face. I never understood why Chelley stayed by this guy that was so much younger than her in the first place. Maybe she just really lacks discernment. But the new drama for them. First of all, she was on a show and she talked about what friend she still has from the show.
Which Islanders are you still friends with today? Clarke, Sierra, Andreina, like those are my girls. I love them bad.
So Chelley named Clarke, Andrina, and Sierra as her girls from the show still. Well, then news broke that maybe Ace and Andrina actually hooked up. That was the rumor. That maybe Clarke was involved too. And so now it's like, does Chelley have any friends? Does Chelley make good decisions whatsoever? Well, let's touch upon the rumors of Andrina and Ace having a hookup first, because it only got worse when one of Chelley's best friends got on social media seemingly confirming it, because somebody said, I don't think Andrina would ever stoop down to the level of fucking that labubu, so I wonder where these rumors are coming from. Chelley's friend said, but her gigantic ass did bend down that low, play with somebody else. Then they said, honestly, I'm tired of everyone always speaking on shit about my best friend when y'all don't know shit. End of the day, bitches be snakes, and Chelley, one of the realest to come out of that villa. First of all, Chelley has never acted like one of the realists to get out of that villa, because she stays with people that, fuck her over. The funny thing to me is, as soon as Chelley gave that interview coming out, they were like, oh my God, Chelley's throwing shade at Olandria because she's just saying her good friends are Sierra and Clarke and Andrina. And then a few days later, after the interview, here Chelley is again with egg on her face. Chelley has made her own bad decisions, but also she has a very not bright stan base. And speaking of not bright, Andrina then got totally duped by someone on Twitter named Nate, who somehow got her number. I don't know who from the season gave him Andrina's phone number, or maybe it was someone like Tyreek from Love Island Games. But somebody gave this Nate person Andrina's phone number, and he was able to convince Andrina that he worked for some PR because he's going to work on some project with Chelley, and he needs info on the situation of what's really going on. And Andrina seemed to buy that, not knowing it was being aired out live on Twitter Spaces. Andrina, another one that apparently needs more discernment. We're going to listen into some of that today.
Like, just know there's someone that's claiming to be Chelley's best friend and they're mutual, and they had made this tweet. I'm going to read the tweet to you real quick on what they said. They had said, just know they had said, but her gigantic ass did bend down that low. Play with somebody else, Bookie. And just know they were replying to someone's tweet saying how you slept with Ace.
Yes, I did see that.
So Andrina confirming she saw that tweet. She obviously knows all of the drama that's being said about her and Ace, like they actually hooked up. And I feel for Andrina because I believe her with what she's going to say here that nothing happened between her and Ace. And she, of course, would want to clear her name because I would want to do the same. Now, being tricked by someone on Twitter, and I'm sure that airing it out live on Twitter without her knowing about, this tea being out there from her is not the way she would have wanted to go about this, but also she should make better decisions. Also, though, if Nate is in like 11 different states, what he did here is against the law, I will say. You can't record, and there's only 11 states where you need both parties to know that you're being recorded in order to record that conversation. Most states, only one person has to know that it's being recorded. But if he's in one of those 11 states, he also is not doing a very smart thing here.
Are you with Ace or Chelley?
So I'm more working with a future thing with Chelley in the future if possible. That's what we're doing right now.
I will say that every time during this conversation, if you could find it out there, you could listen to all of it because I'm not going to play all of it. But every time this Andrina is asking this guy who he's working for, what PR is this? He stumbles over his words, but Andrina does not pick up on that. Maybe because English isn't her best language.
Have you spoken to Chelley?
Well, she did send me a test, but I basically replied saying that we didn't do that. And then I don't understand why her best friend would say we did that because we didn't. So that was basically it. And then today I see all these people saying stuff, and honestly, like, I don't know what to say because we just simply didn't do any of that.
And I believe Andrina here that she simply didn't do anything with Ace. She's saying she texted Chelley to talk about it. It doesn't seem like Chelley really responded after Andrina said her piece, and yet Chelley's friend is going off on social media. Is this Chelley wanting more attention? I don't really know. Because Chelley, sometimes things happen to her and then she remains silent, but there's usually someone that comes out and speaks for her a little bit, and that's what's happening here with her best friend on social media, which I also find odd.
By any chance, do you know anyone that has came to Chelley or told Chelley about this or spread this rumor?
I'm not sure. I think she said someone DM her that they saw us together in public, which I would assume we bumped into each other twice in the last couple of months, and that was at events that we went with different people.
So Andrina is saying here that someone DM'd Chelley this information. I don't know who that is. I don't know why people fall for random DMs all the time and then it turns into this huge drama, which seems like that might have happened here. I guess maybe Andrina and Ace were spotted together out in public. Andrina's saying it was a group event, though.
Met them before, and then it was Ace, and I was like, oh, that's weird. So then she was like, okay, I'll let you guys talk and catch up. And then we catch up, and then that's when he asked me to meet in person.
Clarke set the call up.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So this was the revelation that we're going to hear more here in a second, but I guess Andrina was having conversations with Clarke, who seemed to be the one to be pushing Andrina and Ace to meet up. So if that's the case, what kind of good girlfriend is Clarke to Chelley if that's not the case? Because this is what was always going to happen. This is why I still think it was dumb that Chelley just let Ace do stupid shit after leaving the villa and she stayed mute. Because Ace and Taylor were always going to remain good friends, and they were very messy when they first left the villa. Clarke is still with Taylor. Chelley is no longer with Ace, though. So it can now sound like Ace, Taylor, Clarke maybe still thick as thieves and kind of doing shady shit behind Chelley's back now, too. Andrina further talks about Clarke here being close with everyone involved in this. Kind of actually, to me, seeming like Clarke might be one of the central problems in this whole predicament.
So he is close to all of us. So he knows exactly what happened. And I'm like, you know exactly what happened, and that I never did anything with him. And that's, I mean, I don't know what to do because everybody's saying I did something that I didn't do. And she was telling me that when all those things happened with Taylor, she decided to be quiet, and eventually it died down.
So it sounds like she got advice from Clarke on the situation of what she should do, and Clarke gave the advice to stay silent, which is apparently what people give Chelley advice to do as well. And maybe Andrina would have listened to that advice if this Nate person wouldn't have did this prank call to her. She goes on to talk about the same thing happening with drama for Iris and TJ after Beyond the Villa.
I know Iris and TJ just went through a lot of hate because of Beyond the Villa.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That was pretty bad. And she told me, honestly, because people are accusing me of having something, because I don't mind telling people that we met up and we had a conversation. And after that, we bumped into each other, but we never
So she's
met up
admitting
in
that
one-on-one.
she met up one time with Casey, but they never met up one-on-one.
But people are saying that I slept with him, and that's my issue. So I was telling Iris, I don't know what to do. I can't stay quiet. I let it die down, or replied to one of the comments saying, no, that's not true. But then if I reply that, I feel like that can start more drama.
So you could really hear Andrina's dilemma here, which is why I believe her account here, because she is worried that if she says something, it could just start more drama. She went to Iris with advice too about after Beyond the Villa stuff. Iris posted videos trying to give her side of the story. That kind of backfired to me because I didn't like it either. So if you are going to say something, you have to say the right thing. I think Andrina is saying here that she met up with Ace once one-on-one. They never met up again one-on-one after that. But she's okay with saying that because it did happen. She's not okay with people saying they slept together because it didn't happen. I mean, honestly, this phone call is actually, even though it's a prank and it's against the law in 11 states, I feel like it actually is good PR for Andrina's side of things because she comes across very believable in this phone call. Who comes out the worst is probably Clarke, because she's going to go on to these phone calls she had with Clarke, thinking that it was Taylor in the background when she was on these phone calls, but it eventually turned out to be Ace.
Say hi. And I was like, well, obviously Taylor doesn't want to say hi to me. So I just found it weird. And I never replied to that call. That was maybe 2 months before. Then that day, again, I didn't even know it was him on the call. So when that happened, and I thought it was Ace, I was like, oh, so it makes sense that this is not the first time that she's tried to call me when she's with him. So at that point, I think it was her or Taylor that told me, well, he's been wanting to talk to you for months.
So Andrina's account here is that she would have these conversations with Clarke. Someone would be in the background one time saying they want to say hi. She thought it was Taylor, thought it was kind of weird, but another time it turned out to be Ace, and then either Taylor or Clarke then told her that Ace has been trying to talk to her for months, which says two things. Ace has been trying to shut out Andrina after this breakup with Chelley, which is, to me, Ace playing in Chelley's face, per usual. And then also Clarke heavily involved in trying to make this happen, even though she's supposed to be girls with Chelley.
Damn, so that's so crazy. That's so crazy. It's like, damn. It's like he couldn't be man enough to just to text you. He had to ask Clarke, and like, what?
That's how it happened.
So yeah, just crazy drama here from season 7. I can't believe Andrina was giving all this information on a prank phone call. But I think it turned out best for her because I think she sounds very honest on this phone call with her account of things. I think Clarke, who got some good PR from Beyond the Villa, is now again looking shady. I've never, hated Clarke, but I've always found her and Taylor shady. They move weird. They've always moved weird, and now we get to hear them moving weird again a year later. All in all, though, I just want to know, is Chelley ever going to learn? Is Chelley ever going to have discernment on who was really trying to be her friend on that season and who wasn't? Who has always had shady moves and who hasn't? I assume, again, Chelley's just going to stay quiet on the whole situation. Her and Andrina unfollowed each other on social media because of all of this. All of this because of DMs. I just never understand Chelley's part in anything that happens when there's drama with either she's like in it or like she's like connected to it. She tries to stay silent in hopes it all goes to way, but it always looks like she has egg on her own damn face. When will she ever learn, if ever?